Smith on first. Kralick eyes the runner, pauses, comes in with the pitch. Fox wraps it on the ground to Martin, who hustles the ball to Versalles for one, and Versalles whips the ball to Killebrew for two. And there's more where that came from. Later, Fox is on first and Robinson the hitter. Kralick comes in with the pitch. The ball goes out to Martin, who tags Fox, throws to first, and the alert Twins defense gets two more. The game gets underway. Jack Kralick, the 13-game winner, is on the mound. The crowd is tense as Maris comes up. Kralick gets the sign. The southpaw's ready. There's the windup, and here's the pitch. Maris sends a liner headed toward right field. The crowd rises as Bob Allison gets a good jump on the ball. Allison comes charging in, leans forward, reaches for the ball, and he has it with a fine grab.
Kralick checks Hauser. Here's the pitch. A swing, and there's a pop-up. Vic Power in foul territory, goes for the dugout. He's waiting. He has it. No-hit, no-run game. A no-hit, no-run game for Jack Kralick.
Orlando, Florida, another city of lakes, spring training headquarters for the Twins. The Twins reside at this beautiful hotel. At Tinker Field, it's the team picture, then down to business. Muscles are stretched to meet the strain of quick stops and starts. Speed is all important, and so is teamwork in making the double play. Grapefruit League exhibition games, such as this one against Cincinnati, are further tests of the lessons learned during long hours of drilling. With spring training concluded, it's on to the charter flight. Goodbye, Florida. Hello, New York. The Twins open their first Major League season here at Yankee Stadium, the house that Ruth built. It's a big day for Calvin Griffith, president of the Twins. In the opener, there's no scoring during the first 6 innings. In the 7th, Bob Allison comes up for the Twins. Joe DiMaggio, the ex-Yankee great, is among those looking on. Allison steps in. Whitey Ford goes into his windup, comes in with the pitch. Allison meets it. Minnesota fans let out a roar. There's a long drive heading out toward left. Back, heading toward the seats, and in it goes. A home run for Bob Allison as the Twins move out in front. There's more to come for the Minnesota Twins. It's a rough inning for Whitey Ford, who ends the season with 25 victories, with Bertoia on second and Earl Bowdy on third. Twins pitcher Pete Ramos comes up. Ford, the Yankee star southpaw, delivers, and Ramos drills one to center field, driving in both runners. The Twins lead 3-0. The Twins had 2 more runs in the 8th off Ralph Terry, and a final run in the 9th as Killebrew's sacrifice fly brings Versalles home from third. It's a 3-hit shutout victory for Ramos. The St. Paul and Minneapolis newspapers proclaim the Twins' successful big league debut. But there's no place like home, and home means the Twin Cities. In thriving Minneapolis and St. Paul, the talk is of baseball and the homecoming of the Minnesota Twins. From the first floor of the First National Bank, where the Twins' downtown Minneapolis ticket office is located, to the 28th floor of this modern-day skyscraper, they're talking business, banking, and baseball. On the 13th floor, in the Twins' executive offices, President Calvin Griffith meets with the board of directors. Eugene Young, treasurer of the ball club, is discussing plans for the exciting year ahead with Ossie Bluege, secretary of the Twins, Mrs. Thelma Griffith Haynes, vice president and assistant treasurer, and Joe Haynes, executive vice president. Public relations director Herb Heft, traveling secretary Howard Fox, and assistant public relations director Tom Mee go over last-minute details beneath the portrait of the immortal Walter Johnson. While farm director Sherry Robertson and his assistant George Brophy discuss the promising youngsters in the Twins farm system. The big day. At last, Major League Baseball arrives. The Twin Cities are joined together and await the cry, "Play ball!" There's parking for 14,000 cars, and fans pour into the Met from all over the area. Team names denote parking areas, and distance is no factor. Many a hometown banker is responsible for stimulating interest among many of the delegations at every game. And here the fans come from all over, many with season tickets. All seats are good ones in this modern, spacious stadium. Among the celebrities attending, American League President Joe Cronin and Mrs. Cronin, Mrs. Calvin Griffith and Will Harridge. Commissioner of Baseball Ford Frick. First National Bank President Gordon Murray and Mrs. Murray. In this beautiful setting, the flag-raising ceremonies with the University of Minnesota Band. Minnesota's governor throws out the first ball, applauding a First National Bank Senior Vice President Clark Bassett, Vice President Roland Thulin, and their wives. Team Captain Harmon Killebrew heads the Twin Stars on parade. Minnesota's thugging outfielder Bob Allison. And the sturdy catcher Earl Batty. Lenny Green, the team leader in hits. Cool, poised Jack Kralick. And the league strikeout king, Camilo Pascual. These are just a few of the many Twin Stars the fans turn out to see and cheer. From the first game to the last, there are thrills galore. Let's play ball and look at some of the highlights of this action-packed season. Pete Ramos, pitching to early season batting leader Jackie Brandt of Baltimore. That's Joe Vallavioso making a fine try. That was close, but now get set for this spectacular putout as Whitey Herzog's bid for a base hit is thwarted by Harmon Killebrew. Here's Don Mincher, expected to be a future star with the Twins. This past season, the rookie first baseman was a potent hitter for Buffalo and proved agile in the field. These plays demonstrate why the Twins are so high on this young fellow's chances. Mincher should bring to the Twins added power and defense. Over 15,000 excited youngsters attended Twins baseball clinics. Here one group watches as Angelo Giuliani, Twin scout, demonstrates the art of hitting. More batting tips from manager Sam Mealy, while Lenny Green shows bunting techniques. These clinics are among the many community services provided by the Minnesota Twins. A packed house is on hand at Metropolitan Stadium as another pennant-contending team, the Chicago White Sox, come to town. Sam Mealy, Twins manager, has Jack Kralick all set to face them. And having Kralick ready is a cheery note indeed. Nellie Fox, armed with his bottle bat and a chew of tobacco, steps in with Smith on first. Kralick eyes the runner, pauses, comes in with the pitch. Fox wraps it on the ground to Martin, who hustles the ball to Versalles for one, and Versalles whips the ball to Killebrew for two. And there's more where that came from. Later, Fox is on first and Robinson the hitter. Kralick comes in with the pitch. The ball goes out to Martin, who tags Fox, throws to first, and the alert Twins defense gets two more. Meanwhile, the Twins are forging ahead. Bob Allison comes up with two men on. Southpaw Billy Pierce is on the mound. The White Sox are well aware of Bob's clutch hitting ability as they get set defensively. With a one-ball count, Pierce is ready. Here's the pitch. And there goes a line drive over Leapman Louis Aparicio. It's a base hit to left field. Smith fields the ball, and here come Lemon and Batty in to score. The White Sox have long been famed for their defense, though. Here on Jim Lennon, Nellie Fox makes the type of Chicago defensive play that has made the White Sox such a tough opponent. There's no defense, though, against Harmon Killebrew when he lays the wood into one. Not unless they change the rules to allow the outfielders to play in the bleachers. This is one of 46 home runs the Idaho strong boy hit in the Twins' first season in Minnesota. He set a club record in homers and also led the team in runs batted in with 122. Fans pour into Metropolitan Stadium from all over the upper Midwest. An impromptu picnic is held in one of the spacious parking areas. And every day, many come by charter buses. Summer excursions from over 1,000 miles away. There's a special day for real twins, and more than 250 pairs show up. The stadium is a busy place. Ticket manager Charlie Lavender, concessions director Jimmy Robertson, and stadium operations director Billy Robertson are specialists in their fields. The Twins receive expert medical attention from team physician Dr. Bill Prophet and trainer George Lentz. Jim Cott warms up to meet Cleveland. One of baseball's colorful personalities, Jimmy Pearsall, is on hand. Here's Pearsall congratulating the umpire on a fine decision. A great center fielder and a 300-plus hitter, Pearsall demonstrates here that he's an agile base runner as well. He plays cat and mouse with Cott and Tuttle. The trap finally closes in on him, though, as Tuttle applies the tag. Don Lee, with his sidearm delivery, makes a lot of double play pitches. His victim here is Cleveland's Vic Power. Versalles to Martin to Killebrew, and Romano and Power are erased. Baseball has its thrills and its spills. Here Lee gets Temple to ground to Versalles. Martin covers at second, but arriving with the ball is aggressive Willie Kirkland. Gary Bell, a 12-game winner for Cleveland, pitches to Bob Allison. Allison lines one, but watch Francona suddenly shoot into the picture to retire Allison on a great catch. It's a run batted in, though. Killebrew tags up at third and scores. Lenny Green, the batter. Lenny's 24-game hit streak was the Major's longest of the season. Here, Lenny is robbed by Vic Power. They say around the league that Vic Power is a magician at first base. These sequences show his defensive artistry. And now it's on to Boston for the second All-Star game. Twin stars Harmon Killebrew and Camilo Pascual have been invited to play in this Midsummer Classic, which will take place in Fenway Park. Rival managers Paul Richards and Danny Murtaugh. Starting pitchers Bob Perky and Jim Bunning. The Twins' Camilo Pascual. The M-Boys, Mantle and Maris. Nellie Fox and Harmon Killebrew, who slammed a pinch homer in the first All-Star game at San Francisco. Yogi Berra, Rocky Colavito, veteran Warren Spahn and rookie Don Schwal, Willie Mays of the Giants, the Cardinals' Stan Musial, playing in his 21st All-Star game. The scene is set at Fenway Park. All eyes are on the former great Boston batting star, Ted Williams. Ted, the last of the 400 hitters, has the honor of making the ceremonial first pitch. And it's play ball. Bob Perky, who helped pitch Cincinnati to its first pennant in 21 years, gets a rude greeting from Detroit's Rocky Colavito in the first inning. There it goes, a home run into the left field screen, and the American League is in front 1-0. Perky need not feel ashamed, though. Rocky slammed 45 drives out of the park during the American League season. Against Don Schwal, Bill White of the St. Louis Cardinals shows why he made the National League All-Star team. With heads-up running and good speed, he stretches a single into a two-base hit, beating Mantle's throw to second baseman Johnny Temple. Schwal gets out of the hole by striking out Stan Musial. However, in the sixth inning, Casco's infield hit loads the bases, putting Matthews on third. As Bill White wraps one through the middle, Matthews heads for home. Aparicio comes up with the ball far to his left, but he has no play, and Matthews comes across with the tying run. Before the rains came, ending the game in a 1-1 9-inning deadlock, Camilo Pascual of the Twins distinguished himself with a hitless 3-inning performance. And now it's back home to Metropolitan Stadium, where the Twins have an added treat for their fans. Al Schacht, the clown prince of baseball, adds to the pregame merriment at the Met. Al gets a big hand and a big glove, too. Holding this one aloft posed too weighty a problem. Another beautiful summer night for baseball. Once again, the fans have jammed Metropolitan Stadium in quest of fun and excitement. The New York Yankees are in town. The TV and radio play-by-play is being beamed throughout the countryside to the vast Twins network for those who couldn't make it to the game in person. Words fill the airwaves, and many are about the classic duel of great pitcher against great hitter, the Twins' Camilo Pascual against the Yankees' Mickey Mantle. It's strike one. Mickey swatted 54 homers in 1961, but here he's up against the league strikeout king, Camilo Pascual. It's strike two on Mantle. Camilo delivers, and Mantle lifts a high pop foul, nabbed by Lepsio in front of the Yankee dugout. The Yankees are tough, though, with Stafford pitching for New York and Killebrew at the plate. Watch this play by New York's Clete Boyer. Later in the series, another fine defensive play. With Mantle batting, Earl Batty's great arm picks Richardson off third base. When Chicago comes to town, the Twins continue to sparkle. Watch Martin's hustle on this unusual play. Safe, but a fine effort. Nellie Fox swings. There's a play at the plate, and Earl Batty gets his man. History is made at Metropolitan Stadium as attendance goes over the 1 million mark. It's Thanks a Million night, and the Twins give away 3 new automobiles to mark the occasion. Construction continues in the ballpark during the season to expand the seating capacity to 40,000. Before the Detroit series, 2 First National Bank officers chat with Harmon Killebrew. Dick Wyrock expresses an interest in the Killebrew bat. Ray Johnson comments on the anguish that bat brings opposing pitchers. The Detroit Tigers, led by manager Bob Sheffing, are fighting the Yankees for the pennant. Norm Cash, the league's leading hitter, faces their batting attack. The Tigers are still smarting from the Twins series sweep in Detroit. Mossy delivers, and Batty slices one to right. Watch Norm Cash's all-out effort on this play. Batty, the Twins' leading hitter at 302, has another hit, despite this tremendous defensive try. When the Tigers come up, Cash gets a turn at bat. Jim Cott is on the mound. Cash lashes one past the diving Valdivieso. Coming in from third is Bruton, and the Tigers stay alive. Action, you said a mouthful. Later, Rocky Colavito, who had 140 runs batted in for the year, steps in against Cott. The talented southpaw winds, delivers, and Colavito sends a bounder out near second. Martin makes a fine play, and a dangerous Tiger is out. But there is still Al Kaline, a former American League batting champ. Al flexes his fingers on the bat, waits for Cott's pitch. There's a long fly heading out toward left. Back goes Big Jim Lemon. He's on the cinder path near the fence, reaches up, and he's got it. Bill Tuttle comes up for the Twins. Frank Lowry is on the mound. Here's the pitch. Tuttle swings, sends it grounded to deep short. Fielded in the hole. Here's the throw. Tuttle is out at first, but Batty on third breaks for home. Cash wheels. Here's his throw to the plate. It's going to be close. Batty dives, and he's safe. An important factor in Detroit's rise to pennant contention was the Tigers' success with the young players they brought up from Denver. With Paul Foytak on the mound, let's take a look at Jake Wood, the Tiger rookie second baseman. Earl Batty is at the plate. Wood moves far to his right to rob Batty on this play. Here we see Wood moving into center field for a pop fly. And with Jim Bunning on the mound and Lenny Green the batter, Wood displays his double play artistry. Infield plays of this type and outfield defense such as this K-line catch help back up Tiger pitching throughout the season. The tension is starting to mount with the Yankees due back in town. Full of all the excitement, pregame activities such as this fashion show continue to give the fans extra enjoyment. New York arrives. Here's Ralph Houk, gunning for the pennant in his rookie year as manager. Power-laden Mickey Mantle warms up. Added drama is furnished by Roger Maris, whose home runs were creating a national countdown. The game gets underway. Jack Kralick, the 13-game winner, is on the mound. The crowd is tense as Maris comes up. Kralick gets the sign. The southpaw's ready. There's the windup, and here's the pitch. Maris sends a liner headed toward right field. The crowd rises as Bob Allison gets a good jump on the ball. Allison comes charging in, leans forward, reaches for the ball, and he has it with a fine grab. Here's Allison in Yankee Stadium in a rundown between first and second. Note his body motion as this 6'4", 220-pounder stops and starts, the surging power in his every stride. In this amazing slow-motion study of a rundown play, note how Allison keeps his balance and his eye on the ball. Muscles in motion might be a concise description. And defensively, Allison continues his spectacular fielding. But there's still the Majors' top winner, Whitey Ford, to contend with. The Yankees sense the pennant, but they're not there yet. Earl Batty steps in against the talented southpaw. Ford set to deliver. Pitches. Batty connects. It's a base hit. And Martin and Killebrew come in to score. The stadium vibrates with sound. Whitey takes a deep breath. These Twins are rough customers. In this inning, Green sends a ball to deep short. Rangy Tony Kubek fields it far to his right. His throw to second is too late to force batting. Both runners are safe. Batty is wearing his special headgear for extra protection. The photographers are ready, and they've got a terrific picture as they catch Batty with a headfirst slide into third base. Here's Bill Tuttle to continue the sensational play for the Twins. Watch him go to his left. The Twins may not be pennant-bound this season, but they're demonstrating great promise for the future. This is Tuttle going to his right to make this great play on Clete Boyer. A long, long throw, but Tuttle puts all he can into this peg. And he gets his man. The stadium comes alive. The Twins are fighting to win. No barrier's too tough. Tuttle dives into the box seats for a tough chance. No telling where he'll go next. Bill's off and running. The crowd jumps to its feet. Berra has just tagged one to deepest center, and Tuttle now playing outfield is racing back. This game hangs in the balance. Tuttle keeps moving back, and he's got it. A tremendous catch. This game, every game, the Twins are playing to win.
We're gonna win, Twins, we're gonna score. We're gonna win, Twins, watch that baseball start. Crack out a home run.